Welcome to my channel Lenovate. Today we will going to discuss the physiology of the heart, and this is an interactive video to the heart physiology in which we will going to discuss about the certain aspects of the heart, and we will going to discuss the blood flow through the heart. We will going to discuss the plateau during the systole and diastole phases of the heart and how the heart appear in a histological slide. So starting from the blood flow of the heart. So here you can see this is shown a diagram of a blood flow through the heart, and in this diagram you can see there are certain structures that we have discussed in a separate video of gross anatomy of heart, in which we all know that the structures that are the right atrium, the right ventricle, the two ventricles, the two atriums, the pulmonary veins, aorta, and all the structures we have discussed in that video. But for a brief overview of these structures, how the blood flow is going to supply and how the blood is going to flow from these, so I am going to review the parts of the heart again. So this is showing the superior vena cava having the blood from the heart, head and the upper extremity, and this superior vena cava is going to drain into the right atrium. There is also another vena cava. The vein is the inferior vena cava, is the larger vein, and this inferior vena cava is going to take deoxygenated blood from the trunk and the lower extremity, including the abdomen. Then these two vena cavas will going to enter into the right atrium. The opening into the right atrium will cause them to release the blood, and then this blood is going to pass into the right ventricle, and the valve present here is the tricuspid valve. Then from the right ventricle the blood will going to pass from the valve, that is a pulmonary valve, into the pulmonary arteries. The pulmonary arteries are two pulmonary arteries, and they will going to bifurcate at the level of the aorta, and here the blood is going to pass from the pulmonary artery into the lungs. The lungs, as we all know and as we have discussed in the video, that the lungs are very important for the oxygenation of the blood. So when the blood is oxygenated in the lungs, it will go again, and the oxygenated blood is going to come from the pulmonary veins. The pulmonary veins will going to open into the left atrium. The left atrium will now going to open into the left ventricle through a valve, that is a mitral or the bicuspid valve. Now from the left ventricle, the heart blood will going to pass from the aortic valve and then into the aorta. Ultimately from the aorta, the blood will going to pass into the whole body, from the systemic circulation, upper extremity, and to the lower extremity. The aorta will going to bifurcate, and it will going to supply the whole into the carotid arteries and supply to blood to the whole part of the body. So in this way the blood is going to be oxygenated from the right side of the body, and the oxygenated blood will going to distribute it from the left side of the heart. And now I will going to show you a flow chart to make it easy for understand how the blood flow through the heart. So here I have drawn certain structures of the heart, and we will going to discuss the blood flow through the heart by an arrow diagram. So starting from the superior and inferior vena cava, the deoxygenated blood is coming and go into the right atrium. From the right atrium through the tricuspid valve, this blood is going to pass into the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, the blood is going to pass into the pulmonary arteries. The pulmonary artery will going to pass the blood to the lungs, and here there is a oxygenation of the blood. That's why the color changes from the blue to red. And from the lungs, the blood come through the pulmonary veins. Here one part is missing. The blood come through the pulmonary veins to the left atrium. Then the left atrium will going to pass the blood into the left ventricle through the mitral valve, and then the left ventricle will going to pass the blood to the aorta, the largest artery of the heart, and from the aortic valve. From the aorta, the blood is going to supply to the whole body, and in this way the blood is coming from the deoxygenated blood is coming from the body, and the oxygenated blood is going to the body through the circulatory system of the heart. And how this is going to occur, I have discussed. Now coming to the other aspect of the physiology of heart, to understand the physiology and the mechanism of the heart, we will going to understand the histology of the heart, how the structure of the myocardium we will going to see in the diagram. So in this picture you can see that this is shown a cut section from the heart. The cardiac tissue, that is the myocardium, is seen like a striated appearance, and these cardiac muscles and cardiac cells are arranged in a layer having the central nuclei, that is a single nuclei, and they are connected by a series of a strap like layer. This is called as the intercalated disc. This intercalated disc having a very important function of communicating between the two cells of the cardiac muscle. And also this intercalated disc is also important for transmitting the action potential that has been generated in the one part of the cardiac muscle towards the another part, and in this way it is causing the synchronous contraction of the heart, in the same way causing the contraction of the ventricle and causing the contraction of the atria at the same time, because this intercalated disc having the gap junctions, having the gamma zonal adherents, and having the other channels for the calcium ions and for the transmitting of the action potential to the other cardiac muscle. So if we summarize the histological features, then they are, so here these are the summarized histological features of the heart. The heart, as we have all know, is called as the heart muscle is called as the myocardium, and this myocardium is consist of a cross striated muscle cell that are also called as the striated muscle, and the cells of myocardium are involuntary, as we all know that the heart muscle contract involuntary. Then there is a complete presence of an intercalated disc in between the cardiac muscle cells. So this feature, the intercalated disc, is a very important and a prominent feature for the cardiac muscles. So the histological feature, the certain, or you can say the overview of histological features of the heart should be important and memorized for the complete physiology of the heart to be explained. Now coming to the third important thing in the introduction of the heart is the action potential of heart and the formation of the plateau in the heart. Why this occur and how this occur. So here in this diagram, if we see, there is shown the two graphs. In there, the presence of a plateau is shown in the cardiac muscle. The plateau in the Purkinje cells, and there is a shown plateau in the ventricular muscle, because the ventricular muscle has the deoxygenated blood and the Purkinje cells have the oxygenated blood. But these both are the diagrams showing the cardiac muscle. So there is a plateau after the depolarization step of the cardiac muscle. The depolarization that occur in the action potential we have discussed in a separate video. So if we take the plateau of the cardiac muscle, that is special and a prominent feature of the cardiac muscle that is not present in the skeletal muscle. So why this plateau is formed? After the depolarization, there is a resting of about, or you can say there is a extension of this depolarization of about 0.2 seconds, that is causing the plateau of a cardiac muscle, and then there will be a repolarization. So this plateau is very much specific to the cardiac muscle, and the causes of the plateau is that there is a slow opening of the calcium channel in the cardiac muscle, while that in the skeletal muscle the calcium channels will going to cause the rapid repolarization, but here the calcium channels will going to slowly open and cause the end of the depolarization. The second main cause of the plateau formation is the slow opening of the potassium channels. In the cardiac muscle, there is a slow opening of potassium channels, so that's why this potassium will going to open slowly, and there will be a slow repolarization. That's why there is a formation of a plateau in the cardiac muscle, and there is not formation of plateau in any skeletal muscle or any smooth muscle. This is the property of a cardiac muscle, mostly prominent property of a cardiac muscle. So this was a general explanation about the heart and the physiology of the heart. We are going to discuss every topic one by one in a separate video. I hope it will be explained well. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more.